Hey YouTube, it's Mike and Kathleen with Old World Cider. How you doing today? We are here to explore tonight as part of our big channel that we always explore stuff on. We're gonna explore the Joker Ace Dry Apple Craft Cider since 1993. But just a little bit about us. Once again, we are here on YouTube to find all the old world cider tastes that are out there in the American market. So what we're looking for is, does it taste classic? Is it the old, age-old taste of cider, the cider that the Normans drank when they invaded Britain in 1066? Is it the cider that would have been tasted in the Middle Ages by the peasants of France as they pressed their apples? Is it that classic, organic, hearty cider, the cider drunk by the founding fathers? Actually, I think Adams, one of them, had cider for a tankard for breakfast. So why don't we find out?
Who makes this stuff, honey?
So it is it's a California cider company.
Okay.
It's called California Cider Company. And so Joker Ace California Dry Apple Craft Cider since 1993, 6.9% alcohol by volume. So of course California would be a great place for the production of cider. Why? Because it's a great place for the growing of fruit.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's got an incredible...
And it says 1993, this company?
And of course it's an enormous state, goes far north and south, so there's tons of regions in California. But since 1993, it's actually a long-standing presence on the American cider market, and I've never tasted it.
And it says it's dry. So this
And
is
I
the
think
first
if
one
it
for
comes
the
from
channel.
California and they say that it's dry,
They might
that
mean it.
they might mean it. I mean,
This is the first one for our channel we've tasted that has said on the label dry, not semi-dried or something like that. So that's interesting.
so we're hoping.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here's hoping.
yeah, here's hoping. And let's forgot about this guy. I was just pouring the girl shit.
Of course, if it's good, I won't want to share.
Yeah, well, that's you know, the hope got us to pouring the second glass. Here,
Cheers.
the color is amazing.
It's gorgeous.
Lovely clear, almost like a glassy clearness,
Yes.
a glassy clarity. So that's really nice. I love a haze at a cider as well, but
Yeah. This one doesn't.
you want to
it doesn't
appreciate
have
the
one, does it?
cider for what it is, and what this brings is that clarity. So.
Mhm. Let's see.
Oh yeah, this is good.
Oh, it's very nice.
It's delicious.
It's very, very nice. It reminds me of a certain very, very large company that made a cider that we used to like, but we don't anymore.
Yeah.
It reminds me of how it was when we liked it.
Yeah, this is a valid dry cider, and it's tangy. It's almost.
It's not earthy, I wouldn't say. There's
No, not at
no
all.
earthiness or funkiness like you get in like the
Airy,
Spanish
I would even say. It's
ciders,
kind of
like
airy.
I like. Yeah, but it's
Erudite,
light,
learned cider.
light and crisp, bracing.
Yeah.
Not yeasty or funky at all. Just nice and light and crisp.
I mean, I would say that
tangy.
its taste experience really lines up with the visuals of the cider. It's very,
It tastes like it looks. Light
It's a little
carbonation.
It's a little too tangy to say though that it's a simple experience.
Yeah, there's some
There is
complexity.
complexity,
There could be more, I think. But
but there's a medium.
but there's enough
to more than medium
There's
amount,
definitely
because there's
enough.
an immediate tang. And a tannin following after the tang, and then a resurgence of sort of a pucker, a berry pucker that comes at the end. Oh yes, and apple is the first. I mean, obviously, right? But you do have a berry taste towards the end, like sort of a sour raspberry, something like that.
Yeah, you're right. You're so much better at picking that stuff out than I am, but you are right now that you say it.
Gosh, I love this.
Yeah, like the tart raspberry.
And it would go well with, it is.
What do their notes say? Something about champagne?
They say it has distinctive champagne characteristics.
It does.
Enjoy this exhilarating alternative to beer or wine. Although I really don't think of it as an alternative. I do love beer, I love wine.
No, there's
But I love cider in its own space.
Its own, yeah. But if you wanted to celebrate, this would be a nice celebratory cider. If you wanted to celebrate with cider instead of champagne. I'm not going to say it's as good as a champagne would be for that, for celebrating. But
now, very interestingly, this is a no sugar added cider, so...
So does that mean they haven't back sweetened it all?
There's absolutely no back sweetening.
Okay.
If there is any, all the sugars that are added before fermentation. So the apple sugars, they show up there. It's an amazing experience. Now, I'd say I would drink larger amounts of it if it had that earthy element.
I would too. I would be more interested. It's interesting, but it could. I think I said it before. It could be more interesting for me. You know, there could be more going on. I feel like I've had a couple sips.
It's 110% valid, though.
Oh yeah, no,
this is actually good.
It's quite good.
This should be in the market. It should be doing.
Yeah, they did a good job. They did a really good job.
And of course,
European in style.
What would you eat it with? See, the thing is, it's kind of parallels to champagne, like they said, in the sense that you taste it and you say, if I can have a certain amount, I can't have a ton, you know.
Yeah.
But what would the food be that you would have this with? You know, I could almost have it with a very light, sort of an Italian cream cake or something. It's so dry that the tang and the dryness could set off
something light.
The entire sweetness.
Yes. Like angel food cake even, or ladyfingers, or...
I'd like something fattier than that, because this tanginess, I'm overusing that word, but the acidity would do well to cut a fat.
I keep thinking of strawberries, which, you know, a cliche of champagne is strawberries, but you could have strawberries with this and it would be very nice. Or maybe some nice cheddar cheese. Some very sharp cheddar cheese.
Nice... with a certain crumbly texture. That would be very important here.
Or even a...
Yeah, this would do very well with a cheddar.
Yep. Sharp cheddar. Well, I love it.
And a white, some kind of white flour cracker.
Like
or
a water
white
cracker.
flour bread or something like that. It would do well with that. Well, that was great. Thank you, California Cider Company, for your amazing Joker California Ace dry cider. I'm loving it.
Style.
It is totally European style. It's not a tankard style. It's not a tankard cider. It's a glass cider you might want to have in a wine glass or something like that. But it probably wouldn't ever be as strong as champagne. But it's quite good.
Yeah, quite good.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Ching ching.